So when we first came here in 2015, the woodland was much degraded, the paths were impassable by vehicle and in many places by people, bramble overgrowth. The woodland had been originally planted in the 70s, 80s and 90s, and the whole idea was that the larch would be the nursery trees for the understory, but nobody had done any maintenance or care of it, so consequently the understory was completely smothered, and the larch had taken over, and there was phytophthora, and so it was in a pretty poor, derelict state when we first came here. Why did I get involved? Because I was asked to be secretary of the group that had started litter picking, and in the pub one day I foolishly agreed yes, and it started from there. That was in 2015, and so we started off as litter picking, but we could absolutely see that it needed much more than that, and we did a film with Lys Goedwig, which Gwynfor and I both stated that our 10-year plan for this woodland would be that it would be the wood that stays is the wood that pays, and that we would come in and redress as much as we could with the skills that we had. We started off with just a few litter pickers and dog walkers who weren't interested really in the bigger picture because they were quite happy, which is fair enough, litter picking. But some of us decided that we needed to engage more with the woodlands, train our volunteers, which is our vision, that all our volunteers get trained. So we do chainsaw training, brush cutting training, road going forestry training, winch training, tractor training, you name it, we'll train them, and in forest management as well. And they come and go, and we're a victim of our own success in the sense that some of the people that we have trained have gone to go and build up their own business and start their own business, which is great because that's a success story, but we've got to start with someone else again then. But it's great, and we've got a good core group of volunteers, and ongoing, we're hoping to keep this training thing going and involve the community more. We've done the stone walling, we've done the pole lathe course, and the community are really interested in that. So we're training our volunteers to be able to deliver these courses so that we don't have to pay for trainers to come in, which we do initially. Oh, and willow weaving, we've set up willow beds as well for willow structures. So it's ongoing, the sky's the limit, and of course the garden started then, the tree nursery, the orchards, the forest school, and the cooking, plant to plate, it just escalated. Well, it very first started off because we wanted to do a tree nursery, and we thought, well, that's going to get vandalised because we had a big problem with vandalisation of stuff. So we thought, let's get the local community involved. So we decided to do a community garden as well, which is what you can see here. And one of our first volunteers was Lucas, who was about 7 or 8 at the time when he came, and then another 13-year-old. And they were absolutely amazing and helped get from coal spoil to where we are now. And we're now engaged with youth services. So the youth services bring Duke of Edinburgh awards. The youth services, they've got a program where they're going to have about 8 sessions here with us. They'll do gardening, they'll do willow weaving, they'll do forest school, they'll do walks in the woods. We engage with the local schools. We've got a huge engagement with local schools. The youngsters love it. In the summer we cook here. At the moment it's too cold for the children because we either cook outside with the pizza ovens or we cook in there, and run quite a few cooking things, plant to plate, cooking with Charlie, cooking on a budget, all those sort of things. And it's really nice because the kids, one child who came here had never eaten anything green, and by the time he left he tried 9 things, and every time he comes he said, oh, can I have some of those, can I have some of those. So it's really, really nice. It starts with the young. I've always said this, and I'm passionate about food and food security, and the fact we're only enablers. We can't grow food for the community. We do grow and we do give away, and we do the big veg giveaway, which is sort of mid-May, with a local garden centre. Gavin, he's absolutely amazing, with a food partnership. And we have a whole load of veg and stuff which we just advertise, and the community comes and they come and they get their beans and their leeks and their lettuce and take it home and grow. We've also done, to encourage them, raised beds, which you can see the sort of where Becky and Eddie are working in one of the sample raised beds that we did. So we supplied those free to some Taikalon residents, and they one absolute star family really took it on board and grew lots of stuff. So it was really encouraging.
For us, this is a wonderful, exciting way for the children to learn about nutrition and what's good for their bodies and their minds. But it's also a really, really important aspect of our journey to becoming a community-focused school. So working with the wonderful colleagues from Sirhowy Woodlands, we've had opportunities for the children to try and taste new foods, look at different ways in which recipes can be created. And for us, we complete cooking lessons every single week. But having experts in from our local community enhances our own practice. So it's brilliant for everyone involved.
So we've supported the Woodlands in many ways. We work for the Natural Environment team, so we helped guide them and advise them on the ecological sensitivities on the site, which then further informs the management activities and other tasks that they need to perform to sustainably manage the woodlands and the wider area. We work as a partnership, which is very, very important. So the different service areas within the council as well also help them with the food growing partnership, sustainable food growing, and then of course wildlife and biodiversity. Then we help then how that can be built in to create multi-benefits for the site and the community. So this supports the Blaenau Gwent deal in many ways. We're working in partnership, making sure we work cohesively together to make sure everybody's balances and needs are met as part of the community and a wider council. The site is also a local nature reserve, so we make sure we work together to balance those needs, that everything's done in a sensitive and sustainable way to make sure that the community benefit from the many services that the woodland provides for the community group.
The deal is not before time because it is concentrated on the community aspect, which is that the community will take hold of assets, and if they do that, it's proved here with the community gardens, that they actually look after it more, and we consult with them and find out what they want, and that's the whole rationale for our being, really. It's for community and nature, and the deal will help us to fulfill this vision, taking the woodlands forward more as a community asset, managed and looked after by the community for the community.